Welcome back to Hidden Source News, your source for breaking world events, major political developments, and the stories making headlines across the globe. If you enjoy comprehensive reporting and real discussions on the issues shaping our world, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button because it helps us continue bringing you the latest updates every day. Tonight, we have major developments involving former National Security Advisor John Bolton, new diplomatic efforts between Israel and Lebanon, a growing discussion over gasoline prices and oil companies, American aid being sent to Venezuela, and a potentially significant shift in the future relationship between the United States and Colombia. These stories may carry long-term consequences politically, economically, and militarily. Stay with us because we are breaking down what happened, why it matters, and what it could mean moving forward. Let's get into tonight's report. This is Hidden Source News. Our first major story tonight involves former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who has pleaded guilty in his federal case involving classified materials. Reports indicate the case centered around sensitive government records and allegations that information requiring secure handling procedures had been improperly retained. Prosecutors argued that Bolton's extensive experience at the highest levels of government meant he understood the responsibilities surrounding classified information. The plea agreement reportedly avoids a prolonged court battle and now shifts attention toward the sentencing phase. Supporters argue that accepting responsibility moves the matter toward resolution, while critics say the case raises broader concerns over how classified material is handled by government officials regardless of political party. The case has generated substantial discussion in Washington because of Bolton's long history in foreign policy and national security circles. Analysts also note that this case continues a trend of increased scrutiny involving government handling of sensitive documents. The next major development people will be watching is what penalties and additional legal consequences may ultimately be imposed. Our next story shifts to the Middle East, where officials have announced a framework agreement involving Israel and Lebanon in what some analysts describe as an attempt to reduce tensions in an already unstable region. Officials stress that this is not considered a complete peace agreement, but rather an initial framework designed to establish future negotiations. The agreement reportedly includes discussions involving security coordination, border stability, and reducing risks of broader conflict. Supporters view the move as an important diplomatic step that could potentially prevent future military escalation. However, analysts caution that challenges remain because regional political realities often complicate implementation. Questions also remain regarding armed groups operating inside Lebanon and the role they may play in future developments. Some observers believe the coming weeks will determine whether this framework develops into something more substantial or becomes another stalled diplomatic effort. The region will now be closely watched as leaders attempt to convert negotiations into lasting stability. Moving now to energy and economic news, President Donald Trump has called for an investigation into gasoline pricing and the oil industry after raising concerns that prices at the pump have not fallen proportionally with declines in crude oil prices. Trump argued that consumers should be seeing stronger relief if oil prices continue moving downward, and questioned whether certain practices inside the industry are preventing savings from reaching Americans. Supporters of the investigation say consumers have struggled with fuel costs and deserve transparency regarding pricing practices. Energy analysts, however, point out that gasoline pricing is affected by multiple factors beyond crude oil prices alone. Refining costs, transportation costs, regional supply differences, taxes, and existing fuel inventories can all affect the speed at which lower oil prices reach consumers. Economists say pump prices frequently lag behind crude oil movements because supply systems operate over extended periods rather than reacting instantly. The investigation could increase pressure on energy companies to explain pricing structures and may create broader discussions regarding energy policy moving forward. Whether significant action emerges from this effort remains one of the biggest questions surrounding the story. Our next report takes us to Venezuela, where the United States has begun coordinating aid and support efforts following the devastating earthquakes that recently struck the country. Reports indicate that humanitarian assistance and support personnel have been mobilized to assist areas impacted by the disaster. Aid operations are expected to include emergency supplies, logistical assistance, and coordination with regional and international partners. Rescue and recovery efforts remain underway as authorities continue assessing infrastructure damage and humanitarian needs. Officials have stated that the focus remains on immediate life-saving support and stabilization efforts for affected communities. International cooperation often becomes critical following major disasters because the scale of recovery can extend far beyond local capabilities. The coming weeks will likely provide a clearer picture regarding total damage estimates and additional aid requirements. For now, many families in affected regions remain focused on recovery and rebuilding following the destruction. Finally, tonight we turn to Colombia, where President-elect Abelardo de la Espriella has publicly confirmed his commitment to joining the Shield of the Americas initiative once officially sworn into office. The initiative has been described as a regional effort focused on security cooperation, intelligence coordination, and combating organized criminal networks throughout the Americas. Supporters argue that increased cooperation with the United States could strengthen efforts against cartels and transnational trafficking organizations. Analysts believe expanded intelligence sharing and regional coordination could significantly affect future anti-cartel operations. Some observers have compared the possibility to a modern evolution of previous U.S.-Colombia security partnerships. Critics, however, warn that expanded military involvement can create concerns regarding sovereignty and long-term regional impacts. Because the administration has not yet formally taken office, many operational details remain uncertain, and future agreements would still need implementation and coordination. Nevertheless, if these commitments move forward as promised, this could become one of the most significant shifts in U.S.-Colombia security cooperation in years. That wraps up today's Hidden Source News Report. If you enjoyed today's coverage, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and smash that like button because it helps us continue growing the channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and tell us which story you believe will have the biggest impact moving forward. Thank you for watching Hidden Source News, and we will see you in the next report.